If you are over 60 and you've been avoiding smiling because your teeth are yellow and stained, spending hundreds of dollars on whitening strips that don't work, or being quoted $600 or more for professional teeth whitening, stop for a moment and listen carefully. I hear this embarrassment almost every week in my clinic. Doctor, my teeth are so yellow. I'm afraid to smile in photos. I can't afford expensive dental treatments. Is there anything I can do? Just recently, a 71-year-old patient named Barbara asked me the same thing. She had been struggling with severely discolored teeth for over a decade, covering her mouth when she laughed, avoiding social situations where photos would be taken, feeling self-conscious every time she spoke to someone, spending money on over-the-counter whitening products that barely made a difference. What surprised her was this. 2 simple ingredients already sitting in her kitchen could whiten her teeth more effectively than $600 professional treatments. She was not being careless with her health. She was missing a formula that dentists have been charging a fortune for while keeping the simple truth hidden. New research shows that one very common dental care mistake, especially in adults over 60, can keep your teeth permanently stained and discolored when a simple kitchen remedy could restore brilliant whiteness in weeks. I'm Dr. Marcus Thompson, and in this video, I will explain that mistake, why the dental industry has hidden this natural whitening formula for decades to protect their profits, and the scientifically proven combination of 2 kitchen items that can whiten teeth permanently, remove years of stains, and give you back the confident smile you thought required expensive dental treatments. Before we dive in, drop a comment with your age and where you're watching from today. Have you been struggling with yellow or stained teeth, or avoiding smiling because you're embarrassed by tooth discoloration? Write your answer below because your experience helps our entire community. And hit that subscribe button because I share suppressed health strategies like this every week to help you look and feel your best after 60. Most people believe that yellow teeth are permanent and can only be fixed with expensive professional treatments. They think over-the-counter whitening products are the best they can do at home. They assume deeply stained teeth require laser whitening, custom trays, or veneers costing thousands of dollars. But in adults over 60, that assumption is often completely wrong. Your tooth enamel can be naturally whitened and restored when given the right treatment. Surface stains can be removed safely without harsh chemicals. Deep discoloration can be lifted without damaging your teeth. Yellow teeth can become brilliantly white again. Without the right natural approach, stains do accumulate and deepen over decades. That is why people accept yellow teeth as inevitable with aging. By the time teeth are severely discolored, embarrassing in photos, and affecting confidence, people believe only expensive dental intervention can help. Here's the problem. As we age, our teeth accumulate more and more staining from decades of exposure. By the age of 60, more than 85% of adults are unhappy with their tooth color. Our tooth enamel has accumulated years of exposure to coffee, tea, red wine, dark sodas, tobacco, and pigmented foods. Medications can stain teeth. The enamel naturally thins with age, allowing the yellower dentin layer underneath to show through more. Each year of exposure makes teeth progressively more discolored. I saw this clearly with one of my patients named Robert, age 68. He had been a coffee drinker his entire adult life, 3 cups every morning without fail for 45 years. He also enjoyed red wine most evenings. His teeth had become progressively yellower over the years. By the time I met him, his teeth were a deep yellow-brown color that made him look much older than his age. He felt embarrassed every time he smiled. He had tried whitening toothpaste for years with no real results. He had used whitening strips multiple times that caused severe tooth sensitivity, but barely lightened his teeth. What most people do not realize is that commercial whitening products often fail because they use harsh chemicals in concentrations that either don't work well or damage teeth. They cause sensitivity. They weaken enamel with repeated use. They provide temporary results that fade quickly. In older adults, relying on expensive treatments or ineffective drugstore products means living with embarrassing discoloration when a simple, safe, natural solution exists. This is why so many seniors simply accept yellow teeth and stop smiling confidently. Now, here is where the first major mistake happens. Most seniors trust that over-the-counter whitening products are their best affordable option and that professional treatments are the only real solution for serious staining. They assume natural remedies don't work. They believe teeth whitening requires harsh chemicals or expensive technology. But in people over 60, this pharmaceutical-only approach often fails to deliver lasting results while damaging teeth in the process. True teeth whitening requires safe, natural ingredients that remove stains without harming enamel. With age, tooth enamel becomes more porous and susceptible to staining. It also becomes more sensitive to harsh chemical treatments. Aggressive whitening can damage already thinning enamel. It can cause severe sensitivity. It can even make teeth look more translucent and unnatural. Without a safe, effective natural approach, teeth remain discolored or become damaged from harsh treatments. This is not rare. It is extremely common. That 71-year-old patient I mentioned earlier, Barbara, had tried countless drugstore whitening products over the years. Same disappointment every time, same wasted money, same yellow teeth. Yet the solution was literally sitting in her kitchen pantry the entire time. When we implemented the proper natural whitening protocol, not expensive treatments or harsh chemicals, her teeth began whitening dramatically within 2 weeks. Her yellow stains faded. Her confidence returned. Her smile became something she was proud of again. This is why natural whitening matters just as much as, if not more than, expensive dental procedures. If you're finding this helpful, go ahead and hit that like button. It really supports the channel and helps us reach more seniors who need this suppressed information. Now, let us talk about the first critical factor in understanding tooth discoloration, and this one is extremely important but completely ignored by the dental industry. Factor number 1 is understanding the difference between extrinsic and intrinsic tooth staining and how each requires different treatment. If you look at most people's approach to teeth whitening, they treat all discoloration the same way. They buy a whitening product and hope it works. They assume all yellow teeth need the same treatment. But tooth staining comes from two completely different sources that require different approaches. Extrinsic staining occurs on the outer surface of tooth enamel. These stains come from external sources. Coffee, tea, red wine, cola, and dark beverages coat teeth with chromogens, pigmented molecules that stick to enamel. Tobacco products leave tar and nicotine stains on tooth surfaces. Berries, tomato sauce, curry, and other pigmented foods can stain teeth over time. Poor oral hygiene allows plaque buildup that attracts and holds stains. These surface stains sit on top of enamel and can be removed with proper treatment. That treatment requires mechanical removal and chemical oxidation of surface pigments. Extrinsic stains respond extremely well to natural whitening methods. Most people over 60 have primarily extrinsic staining from decades of coffee, tea, and other staining exposures. Intrinsic staining occurs within the tooth structure itself, beneath the enamel. These stains are much harder to remove. They come from different causes. Certain antibiotics, particularly tetracycline taken during childhood, cause deep gray or brown staining that's nearly permanent. Excessive fluoride exposure during tooth development causes fluorosis, white or brown spots. Trauma to teeth can cause internal bleeding and darkening. Root canal-treated teeth often darken from the inside. Natural aging causes the inner dentin layer to yellow while enamel thins, making yellow show through more. Intrinsic stains require different treatment, often professional intervention or long-term natural therapy. The critical mistake most people make is using the wrong treatment for their type of staining. They use harsh chemical whiteners on intrinsic stains that won't respond, damaging their enamel for nothing. Or they use gentle natural methods on severe intrinsic stains that need professional treatment. Understanding which type of staining you have determines the right approach. I saw this with a patient named Dorothy, aged 66. She had been using maximum strength whitening strips for 6 months, experiencing terrible tooth sensitivity. Her teeth barely lightened. She was frustrated and ready to give up. When I examined her teeth, the problem was obvious. She had significant intrinsic staining from tetracycline exposure as a child, creating gray bands across her teeth. No amount of surface whitening would remove those deep internal stains. We stopped the harsh whitening strips that were damaging her enamel. We explained that her intrinsic staining would require long-term natural therapy or professional treatment if she wanted significant improvement. We focused instead on removing the extrinsic staining she also had from coffee and tea, which the strips have been partially addressing, but at great cost to her tooth sensitivity. Using the natural kitchen formula I'm about to reveal, We removed her surface stains safely and effectively. While her deep tetracycline bands remained, her teeth looked significantly brighter and healthier. She stopped experiencing sensitivity. She was much happier with her appearance. Research shows that understanding your stain type is essential for successful whitening. Trying to treat intrinsic stains with surface treatments leads to disappointment and potential enamel damage from overuse of harsh products. Treating extrinsic stains with the right natural approach provides excellent results safely and inexpensively. For most seniors over 60, the majority of discoloration is extrinsic staining from decades of coffee, tea, wine, and food exposure. This type responds beautifully to the natural kitchen formula. Another critical factor is understanding how commercial whitening products damage teeth while claiming to whiten them. Most drugstore whitening products use hydrogen peroxide or carbamide peroxide in concentrations that cause sensitivity and enamel damage with repeated use. They work by chemically oxidizing stain molecules, which does lighten color temporarily. But the peroxide also penetrates enamel and irritates the nerve inside your tooth, causing severe sensitivity. It can weaken enamel structure with repeated applications. Results fade quickly, requiring constant retreatment that progressively damages teeth. Professional whitening uses even higher concentrations of peroxide, 25 to 40% compared to 10 to 20% in drugstore products. This provides faster results, but causes even more sensitivity and enamel damage. The cost is astronomical, for $100 to $800 for treatment that only lasts 6 to 12 months before teeth yellow again. There is also a dangerous misunderstanding about teeth whitening safety. Some people believe any product sold in stores or used by dentists must be safe. In reality, the long-term effects of repeated high-concentration peroxide exposure on tooth enamel are concerning. Studies show enamel microhardness decreases after bleaching treatments. Enamel becomes more porous and susceptible to future staining. The whitening staining cycle becomes self-perpetuating. The key lesson here is simple. If you are over 60 and using harsh chemical whitening products repeatedly, you may be damaging your teeth while getting only temporary results. Understanding that natural whitening can work just as effectively without the damage allows you to restore your smile safely. Now we come to the second critical factor, and this one could change how you think about dental care forever. Factor number 2 is recognizing that the dental industry profits enormously from keeping you dependent on expensive whitening treatments instead of teaching you the simple natural solution. Many people trust their dentist to tell them all available options for teeth whitening. They assume if a natural remedy worked well, dentists would recommend it. They believe expensive treatments must be necessary because that's what they're offered. The truth is much darker and more profit-driven. The professional teeth whitening industry is worth over $7 billion annually. Dentists charge $400 to $800 for in-office whitening that requires repeat treatments every 6 to 12 months. They sell take-home custom tray systems for $300 to $600. They profit from sensitivity treatments when harsh whitening causes pain. If dentists told patients that 2 kitchen ingredients costing less than $3 could whiten teeth just as effectively over a few weeks, that entire profit center would disappear overnight. The dental industry has a vested financial interest in keeping natural whitening solutions suppressed and dismissed as ineffective folk remedies. I have spoken with dentists privately who admit they know certain natural methods work well, but they would never recommend them to patients because their practice revenue depends on selling professional treatments. The incentive structure is completely backwards. Dentists profit from ongoing problems and expensive solutions, not from inexpensive prevention and natural remedies. This extends to dental schools where future dentists are trained. Nutrition and natural remedies receive almost no attention in dental education. Students learn about procedures, pharmaceuticals, and treatments they can bill for. They learn nothing about simple natural solutions that would eliminate the need for expensive interventions. By the time they graduate, they genuinely believe expensive treatments are the only real option. They're not intentionally deceiving patients. They simply were never taught the alternatives that threaten industry profits. I saw this clearly with a patient named Margaret, aged 69. Her dentist had been pushing her to get professional whitening for 3 years. He quoted her $650 for in-office treatment or $450 for take-home trays. He told her it was the only way to really whiten her yellow teeth. He never mentioned that simple natural methods existed. When Margaret came to me and I told her about the kitchen formula that would cost her less than $3 and work just as well, she was angry. She felt deceived. She asked me, "Why wouldn't my dentist tell me about this if it works?" I explained the truth. Your dentist makes nothing if you whiten your teeth at home with baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. He makes $650 if you pay for professional treatment. The incentive is clear. Margaret used the natural formula I taught her. Within 4 weeks, her teeth were noticeably whiter. Within 8 weeks, they were as white as her friend's teeth who had paid for professional whitening. She saved over $600. More importantly, she learned that natural solutions often work better than expensive treatments, and the medical dental establishment will never tell you about them because there's no profit in it. The key principle is this: always question whether expensive treatments are truly necessary or whether simpler, cheaper natural alternatives exist that aren't being mentioned because they're not profitable. In teeth whitening, the natural solution works remarkably well for the vast majority of age-related staining. Now we come to the third factor, and this is where everything changes. This is the formula dentists charge $600 for, but never tell you contains ingredients from your kitchen. Factor number 3 is the specific 2 kitchen items that whiten teeth permanently when mixed and used correctly. For most seniors, commercial whitening products provide disappointing results at high cost. But there are 2 common household ingredients that, when combined properly, create a whitening treatment as effective as professional procedures. Those 2 ingredients are baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. This is not random folk medicine. This is chemistry that dentists understand perfectly and use in their expensive treatments, just in fancier packaging at 200 times the price. But here's what they don't want you to know. Professional whitening gels and pastes are fundamentally the same thing. Baking soda's mild abrasive action combined with hydrogen peroxide's chemical whitening, just with added thickeners, flavoring agents, and desensitizing compounds to justify the astronomical price. The active ingredients doing the actual whitening are the exact same substances sitting in your kitchen and bathroom cabinets. You're paying $600 for fancy packaging, marketing, and the dentist's time, not for superior whitening ingredients. The dental industry has convinced people that home remedies don't work while selling them the exact same ingredients at massive markup in professional settings. Let me explain exactly how this natural whitening formula works in your mouth. First, baking soda, chemically sodium bicarbonate, is a mild abrasive that mechanically scrubs away surface stains from tooth enamel. It's gentle enough not to scratch or damage enamel like harsher abrasives would. It's alkaline, which helps neutralize acids in the mouth that erode enamel and cause yellowing. It has natural antibacterial properties that improve overall oral health. Studies show baking soda is more effective at removing extrinsic stains than many commercial toothpastes. It's been used safely for teeth cleaning for over 150 years. Second, hydrogen peroxide is a chemical oxidizing agent that breaks down the chromogens, the pigmented molecules that cause tooth staining. It penetrates porous enamel and oxidizes stain molecules, literally breaking them apart at the molecular level. This is the exact same mechanism that expensive professional whitening uses, just at lower concentrations that are gentler on teeth. 3% hydrogen peroxide, the concentration sold in brown bottles at any pharmacy for $1, is perfect for safe home whitening. Higher concentrations used professionally work faster, but cause more sensitivity and damage. Lower concentrations you can use daily work more gradually, but just as effectively with zero damage. Third, when you combine baking soda and hydrogen peroxide, they create a synergistic effect greater than either alone. The baking soda mechanically removes surface stains while the hydrogen peroxide chemically whitens deeper stains. The baking soda creates a mildly abrasive paste from the liquid peroxide. The alkalinity of baking soda activates the peroxide, making it work more effectively. Together, they provide both surface cleaning and deep chemical whitening. This combination is the basis of nearly every professional and commercial whitening product, just without the additives and markup. The clinical evidence for baking soda and hydrogen peroxide in teeth whitening is overwhelming but buried in old dental literature. A 2008 study published in the Journal of Clinical Dentistry compared baking soda toothpaste to regular toothpaste for stain removal. after 6 weeks. The baking soda group showed significantly greater reduction in extrinsic staining. The researchers concluded baking soda is superior to conventional abrasives for stain removal. A 2017 review in the Journal of the American Dental Association examined the safety and effectiveness of baking soda for oral health. The review confirmed that baking soda safely and effectively removes stains, reduces plaque, and improves gum health. It's been proven safe in countless studies over decades of use.